Hello, my beautiful cuddlebugs. Welcome to Ramblings of a Book Dragon, where we dive into the warmth of good books and unravel stories that feel like a literary hug. I'm Allie, your host, and I'm thrilled to embark on another cozy adventure with you. So grab a cup of your favorite beverage, snuggle into your cozy reading nook, and let's begin. But before we do, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe so that you won't miss a single episode. I really value your feedback and book recommendations. Now let's begin. Today I'm reviewing The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches, written by Sangu Mandanna and performed by Samara McLaren. It's a cute, cozy witchy romance with all the fun tropes of grumpy sunshine, found family, and accepting yourself. We follow Mika Moon, a 30-year-old witch born in Britain, and she was raised her entire life basically alone with all of these rules, because witches are not supposed to congregate together. They're really only supposed to meet up on the third Thursday of the third month, and that's about it, because if too many witches get together, it's a bad situation. And she was raised by the head of the congregation, the witch who is in charge of of Britain, but she was really only raised by her in theory, because she was taken care of by regular schmegular human caretakers. And unfortunately, once those humans learned that she was a witch, it became a bad situation because they started to use her. So, and then once they learned that she was a witch and her caretaker learned that they knew that she was a witch, she would erase their memories. So she grew up, and while she is a sunshiny, happy-go-lucky person, she does have her traumas that she's needing to figure out, which is mainly that everyone leaves her eventually. Like, no one really accepts her for who she is. Anyone who is in her life winds up using her. And so she's really just been hopping around from place to place her entire life, never really settling in, because she's just never really found her place. So it's perfect because she had started to create these videos of herself where she was, quote, pretending to be a witch, and she was making all these cute little things, and she received a message from someone asking if she would come to this house, Nowhere House, and it's out in the middle of nowhere, to help teach 3 young witches how to control their magic. So she's intrigued, she winds up going, and it turns out to actually be real. And it's like, okay, how did this happen? Like, how did they not know about these 3 young witches? And they're not even related witches, because they're all from different nationalities. And the issue is that basically anytime a witch gives birth, they pass away. And this is because way back when there was this curse that was enacted, and the idea was that it was a curse that was placed on them by someone. And so it was never really something that was discussed more. And I kind of wish that it was explored a little bit more. Like, is there a way to, and I guess they sort of talk about it, like there's really no way to get rid of the curse. There's no way to do anything about it because of how long it's been going on. But it kind of would have been nice if we had explored that a little bit more, because that really sucks that it's a death sentence. Like, witches give birth either because they really want to have a child and they know that they're going to leave their child an orphan, or that option is unfortunately taken away from them. And these 3 young witches, they were all found by Lillian, a witch, and they were all brought to Nowhere House, and they were raised by 4 humans, and 4 regular humans, non-magical. And it's just a very sweet, cozy romance where, because of course we have to have a romance in this as well. And the group who takes care of the girls are retired actor, 2 long-suffering caretakers, and Jamie, the handsome and grumpy librarian of Nowhere House, who would do anything to protect the girls. And I just love it. I love their relationship as it develops. It is just so precious, because he is just so grumpy at first. He does not want her there. And it's not because of her specifically. Like, she recognizes this. It's not because of her. It's because he's wanting to protect the girls. Like, he doesn't want, because like they know, especially when they find out that there are other witches, and there's Primrose, and she is the bossiest of all the other witches, so she is a self-declared leader. But the girls are Terracotta, Altamira, and Rosetta, and these girls were named by Lillian because Lillian is an archaeologist, and so she named the girls after archaeological finds. And a couple of the girls were very good at first. There was Rosetta and Altamira, who immediately fell in love with Mika, and she also has a golden retriever named Circe, and she also has a koi pond, and that was just so much fun. And they even call it real Mary Poppins ship, because she brings it all out of her little car, and she even has a koi pond, and she's able to all stick it into her car. And they're like, how did this happen? Magic, of course. And the magic system, I really like the way that, because Mika, and that was just also kind of sad too, because Mika, she kind of learned a little, like, she really kind of, like, witches have to learn magic on their own. So there's not really any sort of way to teach them. And the whole reason why they reached out to Mika to teach the girls is because Lillian's attorney, solicitor, Lillian has been gone for a while, and the solicitor is starting to get a little, like, he's getting a little concerned about what's going on. Like, where is Lillian? What's going on? So he's going to show up in December after the holidays and talk to them, and Lillian had better be there, or there's going to be a heap of trouble for them. So they need her to teach the girls enough control over the magic so that he doesn't learn that the girls are witches, which makes sense. So that is just not good. But the real terror of the house is Terracotta. She was determined to fight Mika tooth and nail. And in fact, when she first met Mika, she wore a knee-length black dress. She was all dressed up compared to her sisters. And while they are all from different nationalities, different countries, different parents, they are being raised as sisters. So they are sisters. And when Mika mentioned that this was a lovely dress, Terracotta mentioned that she was going to go to a funeral. Mika's, in fact. And she was mentioning all the ways that she was going to kill Mika. And it's like, this is like a little 9-year-old girl. And it's like, well, Mika's like, well, I need to just, like, buck it up, Buttercup, like, with all this, because otherwise it would be terrifying that this little this psychopath is in the house wanting to kill her. But she also understands, and I like all of this too, that she does understand that Terracotta is wanting to protect her family. Like, and that's the whole thing with Jamie too, is it's not that they have a problem with her specifically. There's an issue with the stranger coming into the house, because, well, what if something happens and the family is torn apart? Like, that's the whole issue here. And it takes a while in the book for Terracotta to finally loosen herself up. And Mika and Jamie were talking before all this as well. And she was like, the girls need to trust me in order to teach you the magic. And they're going to take their cues from the adults, mainly Jamie. So, and they're going to pick up on the fact that Jamie doesn't like her, Jamie doesn't trust her, so why should the girls? So Jamie tries, but he's not very good at it at first, even though we get some thoughts into his head, we get some insights into his head, and he does start to notice just how bubbly she is, how happy she is, and he notices, and he doesn't want to notice how pretty she is, and she doesn't want to notice how grumpy and handsome he is. And our retired actor Ian, he has a bad habit of wanting to hook Jamie up with people, because Jamie was raised by the other adults, because Jamie ran away from his house. Like, pretty much everyone in the house has trauma, really, of their own. So this is a real found family situation where everyone just comes together and kind of helps each other heal. And Jamie, he was abused by his brothers really, really badly after their father died. And their father liked Jamie best. So Jamie ran away and found himself at Nowhere House. And so they took him in and they basically raised him from when he was like 16, 17 years old, sent him off to college, sent him off to university, and he came back. And so this is his home. And so that is why he's so protective. But slowly but surely, Jamie and Mika start to develop a bit of a relationship because they both are night owls. So because Mika is given the room in the attic, and Altamira was concerned that she was going to be concerned that they didn't want her to feel like they were placing her in the attic because of like all the gothic horror tales, and it's like, oh, that is cute, that is precious. And so they start to spend time in the attic together while she works on her spells, and it's just such a lovely little book. I loved it, and it's just really cute, and she didn't want to, and it's just all the whimsical aspects of the magic, like the fact that there aren't really actual the magic system was interesting because there aren't really spells, so to speak. It's more of like they have their grimoires, they have their spell books, but it's more of like reminders of what is the best way to keep spiders away. And then she also has her can't do without. She brews a lot of teas, and she starts with the normal things like peppermint, cedar, and lavender, but then she also goes into mushroom dust and poppy pollen, crushed pearls, but then also moonlight and star shavings. And there's even some moments in the book where she is collecting these items and she shows them to Jamie, and she's like, we are all made of stardust. And it's just so precious, and they slowly start to develop a relationship. But then we also get into some of Mika's trauma and Jamie recognizes this as well, where she's concerned that she's an outsider looking in and she's never going to be accepted. But then, like, Jamie is like, well, Jamie was talking to Ian about all this, like, you can't just push us together. But then Ian reminds him that you should always keep a door open for people, even if they leave, give them the opportunity to come back, that whole thing. And there is a moment of drama in the book in the end where we find out what happened to Lillian. I am not going to share those details, but there is a moment of tension and anger, and rightfully so. But I appreciated the fact that while she was upset, she understood what was happening in the book, and like she understood why, but she still had her own traumas, stuff that she was having to deal with, because she had explained this to them, that she's used to people using her and she shouldn't have to deal with that. And they've known the entire time what happened to Lillian, and they were just going to keep that from her. Like, what the fuck? But it was all resolved nicely in the end, and Jamie and Mika really do develop their relationship together, and she does continue to teach the girls magic, how to control it, how to use it. And they just have their very cute found family, and they do eventually find out about the girls. Her own caretaker, unfortunate, Primrose, found out about the girls, and she was going to take them away at first because of the rules, but then Mika stood up to her, and it was just a very nice character growth for everyone. So overall, I really liked it, and there is a little bit of smut, tiny little bit. That was all sorts of fun, and I really liked the flirting, and just to continue on with the Jamie and Mika romance, the flirting and the banter between the two of them was just so fun, because she got him to lighten up, and I really liked the fact that he also encouraged her, because she mentioned that she wanted to create her own actual business to sell magical teas, but like she doesn't know where that is. Like, she's searching for that. She's searching for a place, but he's like, well, maybe you have to create that for yourself. And I really liked how just supportive he is of her, and the fact that he tells her that he loves all of her. And yes, magic is a part of her, but that's part of what he loves. He loves all of her. And so they really are bringing out the best in each other, and it's just so cute. And she recognizes that he's an introvert and he prefers to hide away, but he comes out in the end for her. So sweet, so cute. But yes, 10 out of 10, highly recommend. And even with the drama that happened and the tension of will they, won't they, I felt like it wasn't too overly drawn out. I felt like it made sense in the book, and looking back at some of what was going on, we did get some hints. It wasn't just a sudden boom situation. We did get some hints, but I kind of wish that we had a little bit more of I do wish we had a bit more of a conversation with the others, like a bit more of an apology situation. Like it was sort of there, but it would have been nice to have a bit more of a conversation instead of just her and Jamie talking about it all. But I also get like it was at like about the 75, 80% mark that this was happening. So it was getting time to get close to wrapping it all up. But I think we could have spent like a little bit longer time period on all of that. But at least the girls were rightfully upset at them for hiding what happened from them. But I just love the fact that the girls did bond with Mika so much, and they were like, you can't take her, she's ours. Like, especially Terracotta, her growth and her falling, just she really appreciated and understood why Mika was doing what she was doing, even if Terracotta was being a bit of a brat at first. And Mika understood why she was doing this, and Mika did wind up saving her life at one point, and that was part of what helped bring Terracotta to reality of, like, this is serious. She's not just Mika isn't trying to ruin her fun. Like, there is a reason behind her doing this. She's not just doing this to be a pain, which, like, it makes, I like the fact that we had those different character situations as well. But I think that is where I will leave this for today. Again, please feel free to comment and let me know your thoughts, and if there's any books that you would like for me to review next. Again, take care, you beautiful cuddlebugs, and I will catch you next time. Goodbye.